What's up, guys? Welcome back to Car Studio. And in today's episode, we just crossed Lake Norman. We're on our way to Lake Murray in South Carolina to pick up my realistic dream boat. When I say that, I mean it's a boat that is obtainable at this moment in my life, but not like a real dream boat. Like, obviously my dream boat would probably be like $1 million MTI or Skater, you know, that goes 200 miles an hour. But so what I'm after is a 35-foot fountain. It's a single step hull. It's a Lightning, twin 496s. It's loaded down with goodies, hydraulic steering, 280K planes, Captain Call exhaust. So I wasn't thinking I was going to buy a big boat this year, but I mentioned before in past videos that I had a 32-foot Baja last year, and I was trying to be financially responsible and not buy one this year, but it's just been eating me alive not having a big, offshore boat. So I started looking for one Sunday evening, and I've had multiple boats lined up. The first one that actually caught my eye, it was a crazy good deal. It was a 98 model Fountain 35, had all the original paperwork, even had Reggie Fountain's signature from his test ride on it. And I was set to get it on Tuesday, and then the guy had someone else on the way to look at it. They ended up, I guess, putting a deposit on it, and he actually just messaged me a couple hours ago while we were on the road and said they ended up selling. But it worked out better because I got about the same deal on another 35-foot fountain, and it's just as clean. It's not the color combo I wanted, but that's something we can change later. But we are headed there now. We're a couple hours away from a water test, and then hopefully bring it back to West Virginia.
Damn!
Well, we've been on the road for about 1 hour and had our first blowout. So luckily we have a brand new spare, and we have another spare if we need it. And we came prepared. We got a floor jack, and we've got an impact, and luckily it didn't do any damage to anything. But so we just fixed that blowout, and it's pretty bad. It happened like right on the side of the road. Well, obviously we were on the side of the road to change it, and like just the tread came off, but it still was holding air, and I was like, well, maybe we can make it to the next exit so it's a little bit safer. But the next exit was so far away, it only lasted like another half a mile before it blew out completely, and I didn't want to damage the trailer or anything. But luckily we had a brand new spare that came with it, and got it swapped out. It took like 10 minutes. It wasn't like a big deal at all. No damage, thankfully. I want to talk about the tow rig here for a second. So my buddy Kevin let me borrow his brand new 2021 Cummins Laramie with the poverty license plate, which is funny because, yeah, it is towing this thing amazing. We're getting 16 miles per gallon. It has not downshifted once on any of the hills, and I really can't tell that it's even back there behind it. These trailer brakes are unhooked or not hooked up according to the seller, so we're relying on just the brakes from the truck, and it's not even having an issue stopping. It's got you know, the exhaust brake, and it just tows really nice, really comfortable truck. So if anyone's in the market for a new Cummins, I highly suggest it. The reason I didn't tow with my Power Stroke is, for one, it's old, and for two, it has 2 injectors going bad. So I figured it was just safer to take a brand new truck and not have to worry about the truck. And at this point, all we are worried about is the trailer making it back. Trailer's not in the greatest shape. We have 1 spare tire left, and we've got 4 more hours to go. So fingers crossed we make it back. Guys, we are back in Charleston. We made it back with the boat. That was a crazy trip. Nothing really bad went wrong, but we had a blowout. But besides that, it just was long. I mean, it was a 6-hour drive. We did a 2-hour water test when I got there, and then probably spent another hour negotiating and stuff. So it turned out to be a 16-hour trip, and I was just like super exhausted. We left at 1 p.m. on Friday, got back Saturday morning at 5 a.m. But overall, I can't complain. Besides the blowout, nothing went wrong. The trailer towed great. The truck we were using, that 2021 Cummins, towed awesome. Really couldn't feel the boat back there. And this is my dream boat, guys. I really didn't expect to have something like this for at least another couple years. But thanks to you all, my subscribers, you made it happen. No, I'm just joking. I've only got 680 subscribers, so I'm not making any money yet. All jokes aside, the boat's here. I'm going to take you guys on a tour, show you all around it, talk about the history of fountain boats, and then the next video we'll take it out on the water and see what she runs. So real quick, let's talk about Reggie Fountain, the founder of Fountain Powerboats. He founded this company in 1979, and he started building V-bottom boats and built them to be fast and handle rough water. I'm going to show you guys here in just a few the hull design that was able to accomplish that. This man is an icon. He's an American legend in offshore racing. He has won 101 races out of 202. The ones he didn't win were usually top 5 finishes, with some being, crashes, and that's the reason he didn't win. But he really was just the man when it came to offshore racing. He's also built some of these boats for tons of famous people. George H.W. Bush bought a fountain off of him. Al Copeland has bought, I think, numerous fountains off of him. He is the founder of Popeye's Chicken, and he also raced offshore. And I don't know if that's true or not, but the seller of this boat told me that this boat originally was meant for Al Copeland, and for whatever reason he went a different route. But it's pretty crazy if that's the truth, that this boat was built for him. That'd be pretty wild. I might have to look into that. So yeah, Reggie Fountain, he's the man. Look him up. This guy is still alive and kicking after 40 years of racing. and he's actually still active on Facebook, and he's like friends with people on there, and he's always posting in the fountain groups. And I just think that's awesome that you know, as big as he is and now in his older age, that he's still getting out here and running these boats and helping with the design and you know, communicating with the customers and owners of these boats. It's great. So we're going to start talking about the hull with that notch right there, which is what makes this a step hull, or a positive lift hull, as Reggie Fountain calls it. So if you look down the side of the boat, it's all smooth, right? And then you've got that notch right there. That notch is what makes it a step hull. And I'll get down here closer and you can see the difference in the depth of the hull here. So up here it's a little bit deeper, and then you've got the step, and then it's a little bit higher. And what that does is, when you get up to speed, it creates some airflow down in there. That's what this is cut out for. So air gets up under the hull and lifts it up out of the water a little bit, and that creates less drag, which in turn makes you go faster. So depending on how many steps, at each step in a boat, if you're ever you know, looking at boats going down the road that have a step hull, each step will pretty much give that boat about 3 to 5 miles per hour more, which is a huge deal when it comes to boats. That's hard to get, and you know, it's a crazy feeling when it gets on that step. So I experienced it yesterday. I was going about 62 miles an hour, and that's when I felt the boat just kind of lift up out of the water, and it got me like 5 miles per hour more, and it's just a crazy feeling. You can actually feel the boat lift up and get lighter. So another thing I want to show you on this hull is the pad keel design, and I'm hoping you all can see it down here. So underneath the boat, yeah, you can definitely see it. Okay, so you see this raised surface right here? That is a slightly different degree, and you can tell by looking back here, that's a slightly different degree than the rest of the V hull. And what that does is, when it's riding on that, that's actually all that's on the water when you get up to speed. When you're on plane, you get up on that step, the very back of the boat right here, that's all that's in the water, that and the drives pretty much. So again, that creates less drag and makes the boat faster. Another thing that's special about fountain hulls is this notched transom. So as you can see under here, it's notched back here, and what that does is allow the drives to be up higher out of the water, which again creates less drag. Now the rest of the stuff is pretty common in most boats, in most offshore boats. So this one, it has Bravo sweatback drives, 26 pitch stainless props. It has 280K planes, these guys right here. These are absolutely necessary on a boat this size. So the difference in these and trim tabs, they're still called trim tabs, but they're K-planes is the brand. When you're coming out of the water, you press a button and these come down. There's one on each side, and pushes these down, which forces the stern up out of the water and helps you get on plane. Remember, this boat is 35 feet long. It's very long, and without those, it would take a little bit to get it up on plane. And when you are running a higher pitch prop, you really need those to help, you know, coming out of the hull, and that helps you with a high top speed, but also doesn't take you a mile to get up on plane. This boat gets on plane in seconds, which is crazy as big as it is, and it's because of those. You can also run these flat with the bottom of the hull, which is what I do in rough water, and that creates another about maybe 2 feet longer extension of the hull, and that really helps keep the bow down and keep it from bouncing in rough water. Okay, so now we'll do a tour of the boat and talk about some of the features it has and show you everything inside. So one feature that this boat has, besides the K-planes, is this MCO hydraulic steering. And even fountains, sometimes they don't come factory with that steering set up, but trust me, it is a must-have on a boat this size, and especially when you get up into the speeds that this boat gets to, it helps so much. I mean, this boat at 70 miles an hour, you can take your hand off the wheel and it just stays straight, and it, you know, just rides amazing. Now let's get up inside and we'll talk about the rest of it. So now that we're at the back of the boat, we'll go ahead and go over the engine setup and the bilge area. So this boat has 496 HOs. They're 8.1 liters. They make 425 horsepower each. They're fuel injected, closed coolant system, which is great. So instead of running, sucking up, like let's say you are in salt water, that salt water will corrode the heck out of the inside of your engine and everything in your coolant system. So this one actually has antifreeze, just like your car, and it the only thing that the raw water goes through are the heat exchangers right there, those little round things up under the throttle body where it says caution there. So that is actually essentially your radiator, but the coolant itself is what goes through the inside of the engine. Raw water cools the heat exchanger, which cools the antifreeze, and then it goes through your system, and that helps keep these engines nice and clean and not corroded. Now back on the wall here, you've got your hydraulics for everything hydraulic on the boat, your K-planes, your drives, and then down there, those little pumps right there, those go to the power seat bolsters up front that I'll show you and we'll talk about here in just a minute. Also got a fresh water tank down there, probably 20 gallon, maybe 30 gallon, that thing down there, and that just runs your sink. Well, it's got two sinks, runs both sinks, and also will run this little guy. This is pretty interesting. It's a little shower head for when you're getting back on the boat, you can rinse your feet off. I like that feature. So I'm gonna try not to fall down in the bilge here, show you guys the rest of the boat. So back here under the seat, you have some more storage. You've got your battery shut-off switch right there. You've got some circuit breakers here, and this is usually used for anchor storage and boat fenders. That old owner had a bunch of fluids in here for the boat, drive fluid and oil and stuff. Pretty sure he gave me enough oil for 2 oil changes. There's also a couple JL subwoofers in there. I'll show you out here. Then you have, I like this on fountains, they've got a little step here on each side for when you get in the boat. There's also a very narrow walkway, but a walkway nonetheless, so you can get up to the bow and set your anchor or get on and off the dock easy. So this right here is what I was talking about, the small hydraulic pumps back there for the drop-down seat bolsters. So you just press that button right there, and this turns into a seat. And then when you are in rough waters or you're going fast, you just press this button here and they drop right back down, and you can stand in there. And it's a very tight fit in here. I'll show you. You really got to squeeze past your shifters there. But here's the helm, and you know, it's such a timeless design. Some people might think that the helm of a fountain is a little dated. But I actually love it. All the gauges are here. You have a gauge for each engine. They have a gauge for everything. You've got oil temp, water pressure, which is so important. You've got your water temp, your fuel levels, your ignitions, and this right here is awesome. On fountains they have, and a lot of boats have this too, but they have your drive and tab indicators, and those K-planes that I was showing you in the back, the trim tabs, they're on this side. And then your drives are right here. So when your drives, your drives are what the props, what propels the boat. You adjust them when you're on plane and you're trying to, you know, get up in speed, get the boat up higher out of the water. You'll trim them out or up, and that'll lift the boat up. your tabs are something that you're almost constantly adjusting on a boat this size. It's pretty cool what Fountain does. So every boat that they build, they take it out in their own little test area on this river, and they make all those adjustments on the drives and tabs, and they document it for you. So when you buy a new boat from Fountain, they give you a test sheet, and it tells you on the test sheet for different conditions and speeds where your drives and tabs should be. You saw the numbers on the indicators there, and Reggie said that most Fountains do best when the tabs are at 2.5, and again, you adjust them constantly, but that's where I keep mine once I'm on plane. That's about level with the bottom of the hull, and that keeps the boat you know, from porpoising real bad. Another interesting thing at the Helm with a Fountain is that your throttles are on the left side, and this is, I'm still trying to get used to this. I've only taken the boat out twice, but normally throttles are over here on boats. Now back in the day when they raced these boats, the older ones, you would have these two seats would be side by side here, or maybe there were three for a navigator too, but you'd have one guy driving and then you'd have a throttle man. When you're jumping a boat out of the water and stuff, you're constantly adjusting the throttle. You don't want to over rev it. So these are on the left for your throttle man because he'd be sitting here. And it's interesting because, you know, this boat's obviously not a race boat. You know, it's got a bathroom and couch and bed in it. But they still kept this same Helm design for all of these years. And I think that's pretty cool. It is interesting to get used to, but so here's the buttons here for your tabs, your trim tabs or K-planes, and right here's your drives. You can control them individually, or these buttons control both. And then you also have a little switch right here on the side of the throttle, which controls both drives together, and that's a very convenient place for it. This boat also has a Garmin chart plotter, GPS. It's nice to have. I'm going to update this. It's pretty outdated. I'm thinking about getting Simrad set up with vessel view and mount it right here, and that'll tell me all of my engine parameters and my GPS speed. It'll tell me fault codes. It keeps track of everything. Also have an azimuth digital compass. That's a very nice piece, and it works. Everything on this boat works. Very happy with that. Got some more switches here. Your switches for the power engine covers here. Must have. Those things weigh a ton. So I like that about this boat. I also love how they split open like that. Some of them are just one big pad that open like that. I like that these split open. That was one of the things I wanted in one of these boats. So going down in here to the cabin, turn the lights on. It's honestly pretty tight in here. It's not as big as my my Baja was, but it's still pretty good size. So here you've got a V-berth that easily sleeps 2 people, and you've got some speakers up there. You've got a mirror. All Fountains have these rope lights around them. Really nice touch. And over here you have a sink, and that's what that water tank runs, is a sink, a shower, and then there's a sink in there as well. And you know, you can turn on your water pump here, and that'll turn on the water. You can pump it in. You can control your lights down here with this, and this is also neat. Like all Fountains have this built-in cooler here, and it just drains the water right out of the boat, which is awesome. And here is a head. Like I said, another sink, got a little mirror there. It's very tight in there. It's really for storage right now, but I'll probably use it for, you know, my kids and the wife if they need to use the bathroom. My buddies definitely aren't going to be in there using it because I don't want to clean up after them. But if you just look over that bow, you can see just how big this thing is. So there you have it, guys, a tour of my dream boat, a 35-foot Fountain Lightning. Now, if you want to see more videos on this boat and plenty of other content, make sure you subscribe to Car Studio below, turn on notifications, like this video. The next video, we're going to take this thing out on the water, get some good shots. We're going to GPS, see how fast we can go in it. And then the video after that, we're going to start working on it and doing some upgrades to it, including a new stereo. Thank you so much for watching.